Hi, welcome to your Superman news video recapping the events of the week January 9th to January 15th, 2015. Our top news stories in this week's Speeding Bulletin include: will Batman v Superman be split into two movies? Our reports from the world premiere of Justice League Throne of Atlantis, and we have more details on the Convergence titles for the first 3 weeks of April. Let's check out these stories and more in this week's Speeding Bulletin. In movie news, the role of Lois Lane is the first time Amy Adams has had the opportunity to play the same character in more than one film. In a recent interview to promote her new film Big Eyes, she told The Guardian that she has had a lot of fun playing Lois Lane in Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. She said it was fun to take her on a new journey. The big rumour of the week started when an image that was released online, which was supposedly a screen grab from the upcoming Batman v Superman teaser trailer, but with a twist. The image indicated that Dawn of Justice was the second in a two-part Batman v Superman series of films, with the first titled Batman v Superman Enter the Night to be released this year on October 23rd. However, Henry Cavill told Variety's New York film editor Ramus Toda at the BAFTA Tea Party this week that there's no truth to the rumour. Speaking of Henry Cavill, over the course of his last few films, Henry has begun a tradition of issuing challenge coins as gifts to his fellow cast and crew members at the end of production. Filming Chicago posted photos of the Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice coins Henry had made to commemorate the shoot that took place between May 19th to December 4th, 2014. One side of the coin features the Superman emblem on a white background, while the flip side features the Batman emblem on a black background. Warner Bros. Home Entertainment released a couple of new clips from Justice League Throne of Atlantis, one in which Hal Jordan gets a visit from an old friend at a very inopportune time, and another featuring Cyborg exploring a submarine mysteriously attacked and sunk. Matt Lanter, Sam Witwer, Jason O'Mara and Christopher Gorham were amongst the cast and crew who attended the world premiere of Justice League Throne of Atlantis at the Paler Center for Media in Los Angeles on Monday night, and Superman homepage reporter Rennie Cowan was in attendance to conduct red carpet interviews, participate in the Q&A panel, and attend a screening of the animated movie.
Hey, this is Sam Witwer, and you're watching Superman Homepage.
Unfortunately, Jerry O'Connell, who voiced the role of Superman, was unable to attend. Check out all the interviews in full, including chats with Sam Witwer, Matt Lanter, and others, at our website now. And while you're at it, why not check out Rennie Cowan's review of the animated movie. In TV news, during a roundtable Q&A session at this week's Television Critics Association press tour, Supergirl executive producer Greg Berlanti answered a few questions about the upcoming TV series. As for the tone of the show, he said that it will be closer to The Flash than Arrow. At the same press tour, CBS Entertainment chairman Nina Tassler gave some glowing comments about Supergirl, saying that Kara will be a very strong, independent young woman. She's coming into her own, she's dealing with family issues, she's dealing with work issues. It's a female empowerment story. In comic book news, DC Comics released details and cover images for the first issues of the Convergence miniseries launching in the first 3 weeks of April, including the issues number 1 to 4 of the main Convergence series. Titles include Supergirl Matrix number 1, Superman the Man of Steel number 1, Superboy number 1, Justice League number 1, Superman number 1, Adventures of Superman number 1, and Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes number 1. Comic books we reviewed this week included Action Comics number 38, which was reviewed by Michael Bailey, who gave it a 4 out of 5, saying the final scene made for a nice wrap-up to the issue. Michael also handed in his review of Superman Wonder Woman number 14, saying, I have to admit that the ending to this story was unexpected, and he gave this a 4 out of 5 rating. Injustice Year 3, Chapter 15 was reviewed by T.A. Hewitt, who rated this a 2 out of 5, saying, there is nothing of consequence in this installment at all. Superman comics available this week from January 14th include Injustice Year 3, Chapter 16 digital comic has been available since January 13th, Earth 2 World's End number 15, Injustice Gods Among Us Year 3 number 7 print edition, Justice League United number 8, which is available in a variant flash cover and another variant cover, New 52 Futures End number 37, Smallville Season 11 Continuity number 2 print edition, Superman Wonder Woman number 15, which is available in a variant flash cover and a digital combo pack, World's Finest number 30, Infinite Crisis Chapter 32 digital comic will be available January 18th, and Supergirl Volume 5 Red Daughter of Krypton trade paperback. Keep warm while looking good in a Superman sweatshirt or hoodie. Grab yourself this Superman Raglan Zip hoodie from $49.50. Or how about this cool looking G-like Superman Beyond hoodie for $69.50. These and other great Superman sweatshirts and hoodies are available from your one-stop Superman shop, the Superman Homepage online store at supermanhomepage.com/shop. In other news, Sideshow Collectibles released extra images of their new Superman 6 scale figure, which will be released this month. Inspired by over 75 years of comic book legacy, Superman takes flight wearing his iconic costume, exquisitely tailored with unmistakable S-shield emblazoned across the chest, and a posable fabric cape. Interchangeable hands and portrait expressions perfectly capture the good-natured and serious sides of the hero's personality, as well as his powerful heat vision. Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment announced a new costume for the Mecha Superman character in the Infinite Crisis free-to-play multiplayer online battle arena game. 5-alarm Mecha Superman is outfitted with reinforced heat-resistant steel and pre-programmed with the motto, In Omnia Paratus. This is one Mecha Superman costume that is sure to withstand the fires of the lost sectors. Macau Studio City has licensed an unrivaled portfolio of DC Comics and Warner Bros. Characters to build a new $3.2 billion resort opening in the Chinese city of Macau. The complex, which is set to open in mid-2015, will feature a number of rides and attractions, with children able to climb on structures with Batman and Superman and drive go-karts with Wonder Woman and the Flash. The San Diego Junior Theatre Company will bring the 1966 Broadway musical It's a Bird, It's a Plane at Superman to the stage once more from April 24th to May 10th. The Superman musical will be performed at the Casa del Prado Theatre in San Diego, California, with tickets starting from $11. Visit the Junior Theatre website for further details. Los Angeles-based artist and fellow Superman fanatic Mauricio Abril released his fan-made animatic film entitled A Smallville Man, which features an original Superman story told through 150-plus illustrations. The film explores the relationship between Superman's past and present through separate stories that take us from the jungles of South America to the quaint streets of his hometown of Smallville. Check it out in full at mauricioabril.com. Steve Barrington at moviepilot.com has posted a series of illustrations he created showing Star Wars droids dressed as superheroes. Check out the complete series of images at moviepilot.com. And that's all the Superman news there was for the week January 9th to January 15th. I'm Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com.
Great Scott! Great Scott! Great Scott!
Hello everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Great Scott. I'm Scotty V. Thanks for watching. So a couple of rumors have come out and pretty much been debunked. I guess one of them hasn't been talked about yet, and that is that in the Batman v Superman movie, the DC Trinity, that is Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman, will face off against Doomsday at the end of the movie. The second half of this movie that's already jam-packed with characters and plots and stories and Frank Miller and everything great that we all love about the Superman character. Now they're going to add his death as well. That's the newest rumor from Devachi or Devini or Debooty or Debabi or whatever the hell his name is. And as far as I can tell, he doesn't have any particular credentials other than he somehow has gotten scoops in the past, according to what I've heard from Steve, who runs the homepage. But he's not an actual reporter any more than I'm an actual newsman or an actual anchor of anything of any import. But he does seem to occasionally come up with a scoop that has some sort of merit to it. And I don't know how that is. I guess he's heard about it from someone who actually knows, and he's reported it, and then it comes out a little while later, and it happens to be true. The latest thing that's all over the internet is that Doomsday is going to be a big part of this Batman v Superman movie. And that could, I could see that being something that they kept under wraps. Of course, they failed. If it's out now, they did not keep it under wraps. But to call the movie Batman v Superman and make this big deal about Batfleck and have this whole thing where is Batman going to defeat Superman? Is it going to negate everything that we saw in Man of Steel? Because there should be no human that would be able to stand up to Superman after what we saw in Man of Steel. Are we using the Frank Miller story? Are we not? Is it just kind of inspired by that? Is it not? Are we really going to see a battle to the death between Batman and Superman? And then to throw in this little wild card that Doomsday will show up, and that's really going to be the enemy. We got Lex Luthor in there, and Cyborg's in there, and whoever knows what else is in there. Aquaman, I guess. So yeah, I mean, to throw us off by saying the big conflict in this movie is going to be Batman v Superman, and then to have Doomsday show up and to need the Trinity to try and stop him. Batman shouldn't be involved in that battle at all, and I haven't read it in a long time, but I remember when I seem to remember Batman not really being involved in the story when Doomsday was trampling all the members of the Justice League, because it just wouldn't make sense. I mean, one fist, one kick, one roar from Doomsday, and Batman's dead. Maybe if they start him off in the Frank Miller story armor, he might be able to last a little bit longer, so maybe that's how they would get him into the battle. But at the risk of being wrong, I do not think that there's any way this rumor could have any plausibility or any truth to it. Maybe something leaked out that there's a little sneak peek of a Doomsday plot coming down the pike. Maybe that's going to be a Justice League thing. Maybe that's going to be the end of the second Justice League movie where Superman does meet his demise and all the Justice League members can't help him. And, you know, I could see something maybe building to that. Maybe that's a little after credits thing where we see that Doomsday's underground punching to get out, whatever. But I can't imagine that it'll be part of this story. Now, Da Vinci, whatever, says that it is, and he's been right before, and I have no scoops. I have no connections. I don't know anyone, and I don't purport to say any differently. But it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense that that would be what was going on. And the second rumor, that of course, rumor, European, that has been coming out, and that is that Batman and Superman movie will be broken into two parts. First, I think, called Electric Boogaloo, and second, I believe, called Return to the Boogaloo. But obviously, that's a rumor. We knew that when we saw it, I believe. Warner Brothers is scared enough, running scared, moving from every movie that comes out that might be in their way. If something announces it's going to be out on March 26th, I wouldn't be surprised if Warner's moved it again. They're afraid enough to put out a movie. They weren't happy enough with the returns on Man of Steel. They weren't happy enough with the critiques on Man of Steel. They weren't happy enough with how the fans felt about Man of Steel. They liked their Henry Cavill, and they seem to like Zack Snyder, but something didn't go right for them, something they weren't happy enough about, and they've had to throw Batman and Wonder Woman and Cyborg and Batman fighting Superman and everything into the mix to try and get a movie that might actually meet expectations and hopefully have what I can only expect they want, Avengers numbers or near Avengers numbers or near the numbers for the sequels of the Avengers movies. This new Avengers movie that's coming out is going to be huge at the box office, and I think it's going to be really difficult for anything else to be as successful, and they're trying to do everything they can to at least hold up, to at least measure up. And I think that they would be too afraid to break this down into two movies because then they'd have two failures if it failed as opposed to just one. And they've got plenty of movies coming down the pike. They've already been announced. So the plan is to keep forging ahead in this Man of Steel created universe, although it seems like there are going to be some changes to it with this Batman being in and being able to be in a battle with Superman or whatever we see. And we don't know. We haven't seen it. But I guess Henry Cavill came out on his Twitter and said that Batman v Superman will not be two separate movies. If there's any way we can definitely verify that that was him, I don't know. But I think it's pretty obvious that that wouldn't be the case. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And remember, look up in the sky once in a while.